Good morning. Imagine yourself as a child asking your parents whether or not you wanted to participate in the community sports team. Would they say yes because they know the exercise would be healthy for you, or would they say no because it could be too dangerous? Well, for me, this wasn't much of a choice. It was pretty obvious to me. As a result of playing sports for over 10 years, I have experienced both the positive and negative effects of being on a sports team. Throughout this presentation, I will explain the seriousness of concussions in sports, how a lack of sleep can affect a student athlete, explore the academic success of student athletes, and explain why employers are targeting individuals who are former student athletes for job openings. To begin, I'll start explaining the role concussions play in sports. In recent years, the term concussion has become well known and used quite often. The severity of them, though, hasn't been realized until recently. So let's start with the basics. What is a concussion? A concussion is when a person's head or upper body faces a collision that causes the brain to shake inside the skull. There are up to 3.6 million concussions a year, yet no two concussions are identical. According to Smith, a writer for CNN Health, an athlete may have to wait months before returning to sports, as it isn't always clear how much brain damage occurred. This is the reason why concussions have been nicknamed the invisible injury, but sometimes it's more than just an injury. Take a look at the man on the left. I want you to meet him. This is Owen Thomas. Owen Thomas was the captain of his University of Pennsylvania football team, a D1 school. He was the captain of the team, won many accolades and honorable mentions, and he ended up committing suicide. Now, according to the doctors, they said it was because the brain damage that causes unusual behavior. Well, they found out that this actually occurred from the many blows that he suffered through the game of football. So ultimately, he killed himself because of the damage that happened to his brain from playing a game. Not only can student athletes be affected by concussions, but also a lack of sleep. Balancing school requirements while attending team practices and games restricts an athlete to lesser quality of sleep. According to researchers, adolescents should strive for between 9 and 10 hours of sleep a night. Davin explains the challenges athletes face trying to balance both their academic and athletic obligations and expectations. Achieving academic success while managing other obligations is difficult, yet somehow accomplished. According to Gordon, studies have proven that student athletes, when compared to the typical student, tend to get in less trouble, have higher grade point averages, fewer disciplinary problems, and fewer school absences. The student athletes' academic tendencies may appear superior to typical students, while also learning more life lessons leading them to employment. When looking for potential employees, businesses started targeting people that were former student athletes. Well, why would they do that? Employers understand an athlete's work ethic along with the characteristics that are acquired by being on a sports team, and assume those traits will be beneficial in the working environment. Other traits that Gordon says athletes acquire through sports are also competitiveness, teamwork, discipline, confidence, and time management. Now that you are informed, you can make an educated decision. I have informed you on the pros and cons of participation on a sports team. Now you can make a knowledgeable decision with regards to difficulty in allowing or prohibiting your children's involvement on a sports team. That's the first step. On a sports team can have benefits and consequences that many Americans are oblivious to, meaning now it's your turn to enlighten others on both sides of this argument so they too can make an informed decision. This is the second step. Now it's up to you.
All right, great.